Hello, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome, loves. Hi, Laura.
Hi. You look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you for you. Priestess sister. Oh, we've lots of beloveds coming in here on our call.
Welcome, everybody. It's so good to see so many familiar names.
Hi, Bernadette is there, and Heidi, Jeanette. Oh my gosh, all our beloveds. Well, I think everyone's coming in the call. We'll maybe invite everyone in the chat box because it's such a powerful time of death and rebirth. And of course, we're coming to the new year. If everybody wants to take a moment and type into the chat box, your intentions for this new year, that would be amazing.
Some of them might not even know it's a new year yet.
Yeah, we'll go into that. New year? What do you mean new year?
Did we miss? We'll explain that shortly, but it could be intentions for this call too, or for the circle, for being here. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you. And Angela's here. Heidi. Hi, Joy. It's been a long time. So good to see all of your names. Marina.
And Marina's saying it's a Hebrew New Year. Her intention is to call the one her soulmate. Love that. Hi, Leslie. Oh, yeah, no video for this one anyway, so you're perfect, Leslie. Angela, universal love. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you. That's gorgeous.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Siobhan, love. She was just in Ireland here last week before last.
And Siobhan is here.
Hi, Lindsay. My intention for the new year is radical self-love. Love that. Beautiful. Shall we give it another moment?
Sure. Give it about one more minute. And just while everybody's waiting, make sure you have a journal and a pen for today for our activity that we're going to do. You don't have to have one. So if you're listening on your phone, it's okay. This is being recorded. So we'll send this out to you afterwards. You can always repeat the process later or just do it in your mind. But if you do have access to a pen and paper or journal, that would be great.
I love all these intentions coming in. Stephanie, hi, love. Hello, ladies. My intention for the new year is to have more self-care and fun. I know we collectively can all hear and honor and love these. Liz, hello, goddesses, to deepen and grow my connection and communication with the land and spirit. That's beautiful. Thank you. Would you like to read some as well?
Sure. Save your voice a little. Amanda has a great story as to why her voice is a little stressed today. It's well worth it. Oh, so then Karen is saying, my intention is to launch my new feng shui business and pass along this beautiful information to others. Yvonne, thanks for this, Amanda and Laura. My intention for the new year is to be true to my soul's essence. And then Leslie says, intending to eradicate worry and embrace trust. Noelle, hello everyone. I'm glad to be a part of this. And that didn't have an intention, but blessings from Switzerland, she says. And then Kate, my intentions are to heal physically and mentally, heal generational trauma, and live in my truth. Joy says, my intention is to be unapologetically me and attract my most aligned friends and partner from that space. Noelle, my intention is to let go of what's not needed anymore and allow a wave of new positive things to come into my life. And Rebecca is calling in soul-driven business.
I love these. They're all amazing.
Great, they come in. And can they read these on the chat box? Can they see these?
Yeah, yes, I'm sure everyone can see each other's, right?
Can see the intentions.
Yeah, I think so. Everyone see in the chat box?
Yes,
yeah, Liz. Thank you, Liz. Yeah.
Horn in here. Catherine Green, intention is to be clear, open channel to guide others towards their highest self. Is that Cat Green? Is that you, Cat? Is that you?
And Jackie, to step more into my purpose and show up more publicly. Beautiful, gorgeous, stepping out. Sharon, my intention to gain clarity and confidence to launch the business that was put on my heart. That's beautiful.
Mm. We've got Pamela Marie in Ireland. She's over there in your part of the world.
Oh, hello, love. Wonderful to have you.
Did you read Jessica's? Embody
No,
my power and share with women our driven connection through our embodiment. Wow, you guys are really, these are like your mission statements are just pouring out here.
beautiful.
Like very divinely guided.
Oh, and Sean, I'm so happy that you're here with us to stay grounded in self-care and Mother Earth's trust. That's beautiful. Thank you for being here.
Sharon Shoemaker's here. Hi, Sharon. Oh my gosh, we are truly all over the world. Sharon says, oh, you already read it. Okay, you read Sharon's, but now I just see that that was from her.
Oh.
Jackie wants to step more into my purpose and show up more publicly. A lot of like rebirth essence intentions here, right? After a very interesting couple of years that we've had, there's a lot of desire for expansion and rebirth, I think, right now.
Jeanette, experience and expand my inner joy. A hug, make a to all of those. They're beautiful. So it's everybody, pen and paper if they wish to have. Perfect. Ah, wonderful. Judith can see and hear us. Wonderful. Okay, lovies. Oh, hi, Penny, love. Deeper connection and ancestral guides in the land. That's beautiful. Gorgeous. Okay, lovies. So Samhain. So for some of you, this Samhain may maybe your first time hearing it, and it's based on the Celtic wheel. We've got 8 different festivals on the Celtic wheel, and this is actually the last spoke on the wheel, which is Samhain. And so, first of all, as Laura's saying, there's a very interesting story as to why my voice sounds the way it is, and I'm going to do my best to invite it to stay with us through the whole webinar. But yesterday, because we are in this time now of Samhain, where the veils are very thin, which we're going to talk more about. I went with a couple of sisters of mine to a place in County Roscommon called Owen Magath. That's a Gaelic word for the cave of the cats, but it also is Doris the heron, which also means the gateway and the portal to hell. Hence my voice sounding this way. That's actually the Gaelic translation to it. And it is the cave of the underworld of Morgan, the great queen, one of the triple goddesses, Morgan. And she is the goddess of sovereignty, death and rebirth, integrity. She was really known as the war goddess, but that was more what was portrayed in a more patriarchic system. But she really stood up for people to be in their integrity and their sovereignty. So this cave is dedicated to her. And it's a very interesting cave because it's shaped like in the shape of Ava. And you have to go like down on your hands and knees. I had to wear a black plastic bag because it's so muddy there. And you basically go down your hands and knees and you crawl underneath a field, and then it gets you into this cave, and you're in the womb. But for over 5,000 years, people have been going there of a way to heal trauma. And so basically, whatever you go in with the intention to leave in this cave stays in this cave. So I went in with a couple of Priestess sisters yesterday, and we were helping work with this energy and help transmute it. And so basically the pain and suffering of many of our ancestors. So of course, this time of Samhain is very much so a time where the veil is very thin. So we can really, really commune with our ancestors and become closer, but also heal lineage. And then the more that we do that, obviously it stops patterns that have been happening for generations. And I've been doing a lot of work around that for the last few years. And it's very, very powerful work. And then as you kind of connect and become closer with your ancestors, then they become guides for you and support, and in this work can really help and support you. So I was down there transmuting a lot of energy yesterday and hence today. But we're in this few day window of Samhain, so it's a very powerful time. So the Celtic wheel calendar goes back thousands of years before the Gregorian. So we base Samhain, which is actually originally where Halloween started, and we base Samhain as the last day of the year. And in the Celtic traditions, we really believe you've got to go into the darkness to then, when we come into Imbolc and we come into the spring equinox, we come into the light, right? So this time of Samhain, the actual Halloween, is the end of the year, and then the 1st of November is the new year. So this is a very powerful time of, just letting whatever needs to die that we don't want to take into this new year with us, we don't take it in with us. So is there anything you'd like to add to that, Laura?
Well, I just kind of want to oh, there you are. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just turning something off, Sarah.
Okay. So, what I want to add is kind of like a meta perspective about why are we talking about all of this, and for those of you who know me and know my work or know Amanda, you know that Amanda's in Ireland, of course, and she's Irish and is a priestess of the Celtic tradition, and we do retreats and work together. And so this year we're going to be doing we're going to meet on the different points of the Celtic wheel and offer these free circles that are, even if you're not a Celtic priestess, or even if you don't understand or have connection to some of these traditions are universal, and these processes are universal. And so we're following the Celtic wheel also because we do this retreat together in Ireland at the end of the year, which we'll tell you about and share with you. And this year will give you an opportunity to really touch into the energies that we'll be also going much deeper with on the retreat. And so each one of these circles is going to be an opportunity to talk about a location or a tradition or a ritual that comes from this tradition. And one of the things that draws me so deeply to Amanda, to this work, to Ireland, is how much it honors the goddess, and how much it honors the priestess, and how much these thousands of years of traditions, these places that we visited in Ireland, and many of you who went there on this call today and can attest to this, but it awakens this ancient energy of healing that brings us back so deep to our feminine power and our feminine roots. And Amanda being this beautiful representation of how the priestess lineage has been carried on to this day for thousands of years. And so Amanda feels to me like this ancient relic and this modern goddess who is like transmitting this energy to us. And she's a part of this thousands and thousands of year old tradition. So I just want,
as you are sister, and as all the sisters that are here together, collectively we all are, because on some level we keep going back, we're and we know we're all connected, right? So
absolutely,
if you're here, it's because, and I did want to add that Robin's like, I'm going to be there, she just said, and I really hope I just didn't scare everybody, because what I'm talking about is one of the places we're going. So I hope you're not like, oh my gosh, she's like, there doing what?
No, it's amazing. I mean, we really carefully chose that place, because it's a place that allows us to release the trauma and let go of the darkness, or embrace it, I would say. And if you really don't want to go through the cave, you won't have to at the time, but my guess is everyone will want to, and we will support you. So yes, we don't mean to scare you, but that will be an option on the retreat, to lose your own voice and go into the cave, which just sounds like an absolutely spectacular place for healing and transmuting trauma, which we all have our own version of. And not only individually, but collectively, there's a lot of trauma to heal on this planet. And so this is a place where that will happen.
Absolutely, absolutely. So on our journey together now, I would love to take us there energetically. Of course, time and space, does that really matter? So I'm going to move a little closer. And what I'm going to invite you, if you did have a candle nearby, I'm going to invite you to light it, because at this time of the year, the clock's just about to change for us here. It starts to get dark. Oh, there's your beautiful candle. And this actually is one of our fire festivals. Of course, the likes of summer solstice and the Altana and even spring equinox, of course, it's all about the fire and the sun. But we intentionally bring the fire in this time of year. And if you think about Halloween, Samhain, there's bonfires, there's fireworks, candles are lit, even like the jack-o'-lanterns. And in Ireland, with Samhain, we actually used to carve turnips.
I heard that, but turnips were the thing.
And they're just really it's like trying to carve a stone. So anyway, we took that idea from the Americans. They're like, oh, pumpkins, they're a really good idea. So we do a lot of fire because a couple of different reasons. One is because we want to light the way for the ancestors, because we want to guide them home, right? And then during Samhain, we're in this period of Samhain, it goes all the way to November 1st. We used to, it's a cold time of year as well, but leave all the doors and windows open all night long, because it was a way of inviting the ancestors in. So we're going to talk about a ritual that you can all deepen your connection with your ancestors if you choose, and how to work with that over the next few days, because it's a very powerful healing process. And of course, then the fire element, we bring it in because it has the ability to transmute and transform energy. And then, of course, it can activate as well as we go into the new year. Yeah, and it's spelled, a lot of people would see that. Laura just typed it out as Samhain, but of course it's Gaelic, so it's Samhain. It's pronounced Samhain. Okay, beloved, so we're going to start on a journey, a Samhain journey. So if you have your candle, go ahead and light it. And if you want to turn off anything, lights, and get yourself really comfortable, because we're going to go on a journey together. You can lay down, sit in your chair, whichever you feel most comfortable. Just, it really is about listening and honoring. I mean, it's always about that, always listening to that inner guidance. So with that, beloveds, I'm going to invite you to just gently close your eyes and just bring your awareness to your heart center. And then becoming aware of your breath. And to really invite you into this present moment, and invite you to take some nice deep cleansing breaths. So whenever you're ready, I invite you to take a nice deep inhale, and inhaling from the heart of the earth. Inhaling your breath all the way up to the crown of your head. And then exhaling. Inhaling. And exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to invite you to send a grounding cord at the base of your spine and the soles of your feet, and send that cord deep down into the heart of Eru, as we would call her in Ireland, Eru, Sophia, Mother Earth. Sending your roots deep down. And your roots represent our ancestors, the ones that have walked the path before us and experienced what they experienced in order for us to be where we are today, now. Deep down to the very heart of the earth. Feeling rooted and grounded. While keeping that deep connection with the earth, we're going to invite your energy up from the heart of the earth, and inviting it up like this warm golden liquid up through your body. Bringing that warm golden liquid all the way up to the crown of your head. Allowing your breath to be deep and full. As we open sacred space at this sacred time of Samhain. And at this time now, I invite you to evoke your guides, angels, whomever you like here with you. And I'm going to do an invocation in Gaelic. Ekleam Tine, Ekleam Ishka, Ekleam Kolcha, Ekleam Morrigan, Agus Eru, Agus Maeve, Agus Boan, Agus Anam Cara, Agus Spiroid, Emos, Gra. Calling upon our ancestors, those that choose to be here for the highest good only, from a heavenly realm. And we open our sacred space in the energy of love, healing, and consciousness. Bring your awareness now to the crown of your head. And inviting and connecting with your highest self, that highest level of consciousness. Ekleam, the great mother goddess. And surrounding us all now in this white light of pure source energy. And together, if you so choose, we're going to go on a journey to the other world. I invite you to see yourself now standing in a field. It's raining. But you have this inner knowing that the rain is here as a source of cleansing and healing and purification. The water has the ability to carry consciousness. And there's a wind. And you also have this inner knowing that the wind has the ability just to blow away whatever needs to be let go at this time. As you stand upon this sacred land, notice what it feels like to have your bare feet touching the earth beneath you. Notice how it feels to touch the earth. On a deeper level, though, bring your awareness to how it feels to the earth for you to stand upon it. And feeling that union between the pair of you. Seeing in front of you now this womb, this entrance to this other world, a portal. And above it is a sacred hawthorn tree, the tree that grows with the sacred sites, the healing tree, the granter of intentions. If you feel called, beloved, I invite you to make your way into the cave. It's not uncommon for things to come up as you enter this cave because you're stepping into the darkness. And as you enter into this cave, you are saying, I'm okay with the darkness. I'm willing to enter, to look at, to heal, and to integrate, and to fully accept. So if it feels right, making your way into the cave, Noticing that you have to really crouch down because it's very, very low. And as you enter in, you notice that the cave becomes even lower. It's pitch dark. And you slowly have to make your way into the cave. You realize as you've entered now, this is a rite of passage for you. This is the birthing canal, the rebirthing canal. And as you make your way through, you can heal experiences from your own birth, perhaps from birthing experience from birthing your own child or children into the world. Or something that you would like to rebirth in your life and experience. This is a very dark and narrow passageway. And even though you may be feeling whatever is arising, whatever you're tuning into, whatever is coming up, you know that you are fully supported and protected in order to make this journey. You put your hands out and your palms touch the walls of the cave. And as you do, you feel the sacred symbols, the spirals, the Om symbols on the walls. And you know that these are messages from your ancestors. Inviting you to remember, to reconnect, because they know that you may have forgotten some ways of being. And they are communing with you now as you keep making your way down this passage. As you keep moving down, you notice it's becoming a little bit more spacious. The roof height is lifting. And you're coming down into the womb of the cave. Observe how you feel in your physical body, your emotional, your energetic. This time of Samhain is a time of the crone energy, wisdom coming through, healing coming through. And as you come into the womb, passageway of the cave, Goddess Margan is here to greet you. Margu. Or perhaps there is an ancestor there to greet you, or one of your own guides. Receive any messages that they have for you now. You're invited now to energetically put your back up against the wall of the cave to be held. And the energy of this cave has the ability to invite you to release anything out of your physical, emotional, energetic, mental, spiritual body that you would like to transmute, to release, to heal, to let die, patterns, beliefs, experiences, things that keep playing out that you're done with. This is an opportunity to let whatever that part of yourself go, to be transmuted, to be released. Morrigan and Goddess Maeve are there with you now to support you on your journey. Your guides are there with you too. You're fully supported on your journey. So you're back up against these sacred symbols on the wall of this cave. Feel yourself releasing now. And this cave is happy to receive. That is what this cave was created for. This is this cave's dharma, its purpose, to facilitate this kind of healing. This is its honor. Your guides were waiting for you to come here today to make this conscious choice. We're going to be in silence now for a moment for you to consciously release anything that you wish to. Allowing your breath to still be deep and full, to allow the energy to move. Feel that releasing coming out the soles of your feet. Speak now anything you wish to speak. Scream anything you wish to scream. Receive forgiveness from anybody that you wish to, and offer forgiveness to anybody you wish to. Perhaps offering forgiveness to yourself. If there are ancestral patterns that you wish to have healed at this time, voice it now. Things that have been playing out in your lineage that stop here and go no further. Speak that now. Release that now. You are being heard, you are being seen. And knowing that this cave is always available to you. Owen Magat. Your guides are always here to support you. So you're going to start your descent out of the cave now, with Morrigan with her hand on your left shoulder, and Queen Goddess Maeve on your right. As they walk you out, and you're going to start making your way through the birth canal. And this time, you're birthing into what you would like to step into in this new year. Another rite of passage into the light this time. So lowering down, putting your hands at the side, touching these ancient rocks that carry this ancient wisdom. Feeling the connection to your ancestors. What is this intention? What is this energy that you are bringing into this new year as you move up towards the light? Slowly, still, the cave roof is low. Just gently and mindfully putting one foot in front of the next. And with every step, knowing that you're moving closer to the light. And at the same time, feeling this deep sense of comfort of having been in the darkness. And feeling this integration of shadow and light. This comfort of the darkness. Because as we know, that which we resist persists. So now you can see the light. You're making your way out of the birth canal, birthing into the light. Stepping out now onto this grassy green field. Standing up fully, reaching your arms out to the light, feeling the rain pouring down on you, cleansing you physically from the mud of the cave, but also freeing you of anything that you would fully ask to heal and be released. Turning around to see the hawthorn and sharing your intentions for the new year with the hawthorn that supports this, supports your intentions, your truest heart's desires, where you know what they are. And you're true to yourself, in full alignment with what they are. And you're fully guided. So reaching forward and touching the trunk of the hawthorn tree. And as you touch the tree, feeling this deep sense of grounding. Holding onto the trunk, which represents your present day self. And the branches that reach up represent the next generations. So as you touch the trunk, there's this deep sense of coming back into this present moment, to the here and the now. So taking a moment, just floating your hands to your heart center and just bowing the mind to the heart and honoring this sacred time that we've all had together and this deep inner knowing as what has happened during this time together, the healing that has occurred, the releasing. Yameke. Taking a nice deep inhale and exhale. Whenever you're ready, beloveds, just gently opening your eyes.
I'd love to invite everybody to even just put one word in the box of what you're left with. After that, if you don't have words right now, that's okay. Just stay in the energy. But if you would like to, you're welcome to put a word in there. It can be anything. Anything's welcome. We have comfort, powerful, expansion, connected, cleansing, sacred, empowered, love, supported, peace, releasing, relief, transformation, growth. Comforted, held, love, peace, and deep calm. So you can keep them coming. You guys are welcome to keep sharing as the words arise, coming home to my true self. Reassured, connected, free. Heart, such radiant, such heat radiating out of me in the cave. Yeah, it's when you're somewhere that has a lot of energy. Support. Rebirth. Noel means Christmas in French. Yes, beautiful. Going from the darkness to the light, taking a new breath. Thank you, Noel. So please keep sharing. I'm just going to move on into a little bit more of a bringing this home into our personal experience and personal spiritual transformation, which that visualization just guided us so beautifully through the journey. You know, one of the things that I want to share is that when we talk about darkness and going into it, sometimes we have a choice to walk into it, and sometimes we're thrust into it. And when you have a choice to walk into it and you go into it willingly, it's kind of a different experience than when you're thrust into it. And when you're thrust into the times of darkness, that's one of the, I think, lessons or messages we can learn from these times of the year where we're invited to go into the darkness. It's to help us get more comfortable in that place, because it happens, and it happens sometimes when we least expect it, or it happens when you don't want it to, and you really would rather not go into another time of darkness, right? It's like, really, life again? Do I have to go through this again? And so I kind of want to speak to that, right? That sometimes we don't choose it, sometimes we do. And if only we had had the training from the time we were wee ones to know how to be in that, right? How to be in the darkness, how to not be scared of it, how to not, think about all the stories that we hear as children, all the ghost stories are being scared of the dark, right? Being afraid of the dark. The dark is a scary place because it's unknown. And so these times, these traditions, these cycles of the year help us to remember that we can actually get through the darkness and make it to the other side. We can be reborn as a result of walking through something extremely traumatic, extremely difficult, extremely painful. We can come out on the other side and be filled with more love, more expansion, more gifts, more things to give to the world. And I know so many women on this call today are those women. I mean, all of us are in our own way, that we've walked through something and we've come out the other side. Our country in the United States, our world is walking through an opportunity right now for rebirth. We're walking through a time of darkness in a lot of ways because of how separated we've become. That's, I think, what the most challenging part of all that's happened over the past couple of years is how divisive we've actually become, right? Through different, and I'm speaking about here in the United States, but I know you're all over the world, and I know you have your own version of what's happening in your own countries, in your own regions, that this has been a time of darkness for many people, losing jobs, not having enough money, getting sick, being divided from family and friends, having friends in your life who you thought you were on the same page with, that suddenly you realize that you're completely different belief systems, and maybe losing friends. I know that's happened to a lot of people here, right, in the United States. It's just because it's become so divisive in many ways. So this is a time collectively where we're actually being given an opportunity to walk through choosing divisiveness or choosing love. And divisiveness is a form of darkness. And it will give us an opportunity to really come into alignment with our true selves and decide who we want to be, what do we want to give, what do we want to represent. Is it fear and anger and hurt, or is it love and reconnection, which is the opportunity on the other side of some of these dark experiences? So I want to read something that those of you who've been with me for years, it's not going to be a shocker. It's from my favorite book here that I read from so often, called Circle of Stones, Woman's Journey to Herself by Judith Durek. For anyone who wants to get that book, it's an incredible little short book with little passages that you can read very easily. And so I just want to offer this passage. How might your life have been different if, as a young woman, there had been a place for you, a place where you could go to be among women, a place for you when you had feelings of darkness? And if there had been another woman, somewhat older, to be with you in the darkness, to be with you until you spoke out your pain and anger and sorrow. And if you had spoken until you had understood the sense of your feelings, how they reflected your own nature, your own deepest nature, crying out of the darkness, struggling to be heard. And what if, after that, every time you had feelings of darkness, you knew that the woman would come to be with you and would sit quietly by as you went into your darkness to listen to your feelings and bring them to birth, so that over the years, companioned by the woman, you learned to no longer fear your darkness, but to trust it as the place where you could meet your own deepest nature and give it voice. How might your life have been different if you could trust your darkness, if you could trust your very own darkness? So I love this book and I love these passages because they bring us into kind of a portal to another world of what it would have been like if we had been raised in a tribal feminine goddess, and not even just feminine, but masculine, feminine, united culture where we actually supported each other through these deep emotional cycles and experiences that are so natural, they're so real, and they happen. And a lot of times we just don't know what to do or how to be with them. And we're in a culture, in a world that is rampant with depression, anxiety, pain. Mental health is just in crisis. And so much of it is because we don't know how to meet that darkness. We're not familiar with it. We're not comfortable with it. We may not have the tools for it. So this today was such a beautiful experience to actually choose to go into the darkness, to do it with choice, with practice, so that when it happens unexpectedly, we have better tools and resources for how to work with it. And so I want to share one personal story, and I thought I was going to share one, but I changed my mind in the middle of this. This week is actually the 1-year anniversary from when I underwent a major surgery, and I just realized that as we started, that 1 year ago, I had to make a choice to walk into the darkness and to undergo a major surgery for endometriosis that had plagued me for 30 years of my life. I managed to still live my life and start a business and run a business and lead circles and do all these things. Really, it was born out of this incredible pain that I had in my reproductive system. Like, so much of the work that I did in my life came from this disease that I had, because I searched for healing methods and searched for all kinds of ways that I could heal myself through feminine work. And after 30 years of trying all of that spiritual work and emotional work, one of the darknesses that I sat with was feeling like a failure, that all of the things I had done didn't work. And my endometriosis was getting worse and worse and worse. And for me, that was just unfathomable because I was doing everything right, right. And I had to actually entertain a path that I was never willing to before, that I never wanted to before, and that I thought was a failure in itself. And that was the path of getting a surgery and having my uterus actually removed. And for those of you who do feminine work, that feels like for me, that felt like one of the greatest losses I could ever walk through. It felt like it was like a part of me was going to have to die in order to move forward in this new life that I wanted to create, which was a life without pain and suffering. And I would have sometimes 7 to 10 days of each month being in excruciating pain. And that was just, I couldn't survive that way anymore. And there was something in me that knew I actually had to choose to walk through this very painful, long, grueling process of having a surgery, of not knowing what was going to happen on the other side, but actually tapping into guidance to know that maybe this wasn't the path that I thought I was going to choose, but it's one that down deep I actually know is going to work. And I will admit there was a lot of uncertainty, but I was desperate. I was desperate by this point to find a solution and to heal. And so 1 year ago today, I had that surgery. I remember going under, and it was such a sacred process. I felt so high the day, and it wasn't from drugs. I was so high the day I went into the hospital because I was in divine flow of what was meant to be, and I could feel it. But it was still an incredibly risky thing because I didn't know how I would be on the other side of it. Would it work? Would I still have pain? Would I go through hormonal havoc, all these things. And so that was an opportunity to kind of choose going into literally undergoing like a death of going under in a surgery and a rebirth on the other side. And I'm so grateful to report that it was the best choice of my life, that I have a completely new life that I never could have imagined, with more creativity, more abundance, because of trusting in this death that needed to happen. I didn't want it to. I didn't want to give up my uterus. I thought it would potentially take away some of my power or feminine guidance or creativity. And somehow none of that has happened. It's been the exact opposite because of trusting in this darkness, trusting in this going under, and going literally felt like the cave that you were talking about, Amanda. Like I went into that cave for a few months actually to have to heal and recover, and emerged on the other side with incredible energy and healing and potency. And so sometimes the things that you think are the path to heal you, you might keep hitting your head against a wall and saying, like, why isn't these tools working? Why aren't they working? And that's where I was. And it brought a sense of failure that I felt, like I shared earlier. Like, what am I doing wrong? How am I not conscious enough, spiritual enough, like masterful enough to make this pain stop and to miraculously heal? And for me, that miraculous healing was a surgery. And we have to sometimes entertain ideas or paths that might not seem like they were the right ones for you. And you might have to choose something very risky. You might have to do something very different that goes into the darkness. And it might be the best thing that you've ever done on the other side. And I'm feeling the energy in the group that there's a lot of people, yes, I can relate to this. Something for me has happened that way that I didn't expect, And so that's just another part of this, that, if we really bring these cycles of the year and these traditions home to our hearts and apply them personally to what does this mean for you? This is why I love Joseph Campbell so much. Joseph Campbell was a studier of myths and mythology and all the world's religions. And he'd take them and he'd say, okay, that story, what does it mean psychologically, personally for you? What does that represent for you? And so that's our invitation today too. Just like what Amanda just walked you through. What does it mean for you? Where in your life are you able to choose walking into the darkness to get some practice and grow some skills so that, when the new year comes, when the rebirth opportunity comes, you're ready. You're actually ready to step into it with all your heart and soul, knowing that you walked through it, right? I walked through the hard part. I'm not going to put it off anymore. I'm ready to do it. Whether it's getting your taxes sorted out or
A lot of it is releasing, isn't it? Like releasing the way we think things should be done, the way society has told us. And it's like really coming to this place of true alignment and true listening, like, and what is right for that person may not be right for you, and just really listening. And it is a lot of releasing control as well, like I can't do this way, or it shouldn't happen this way, and am I supposed to be this, and I feel like a failure if I do this way. Because so many of us are able to relate with that. But this is all about really just listening. And the amazing thing about what I love about the Celtic wheel is you don't only have to be in a winter solstice or Samhain time at this time of year. In June, you can have the winter solstice. And in this time of the year, you could be having your own summer solstice. So this is how you can bring these practices in. And thank you so much for sharing that with us, Laura. And I'm so grateful to hear that, it's given you freedom, and
Yes.
and also just inspired everyone here as well to, it's like, I think ultimately it's to be kinder to ourselves and listen to ourselves, and not judge ourselves, and just really follow that guidance.
Yes, and one thing I want to say about that is, so much has come out recently about the power of social media to cause us to judge ourselves. And so one of the practices I've had this year is being on it so much less, so much less. And that I invite all of you that when you start to notice the comparisonitis happening as you're navigating your own darkness, your own choices, your own what's right for me, what do I need to do for myself? It's oftentimes not going to come from scrolling and looking at what other people are doing. This is something we
If
just
you're doing that, you're out of alignment.
know that you're not able to connect into your center when there's so much outward looking to what is this person doing and that person, and comparing to how other people are looking like they're thriving, right? And so it's so important for us to really actually have quiet time off of media, off of social media, off of televisions, phones, and that's where the quiet guidance can come. My quiet guidance for what to do to choosing this surgery came from not from scrolling. It came from these intensely quiet moments of prayer and meditation and healing that allowed me to navigate to the truth. And we all can have that. There's nothing required but you to have that. You, a candle, maybe some beautiful holy water that I have here from the well in Ireland that we visit. You have some sacred tools that take you inside. And I believe you have a ritual, don't you? That are we
Mhm.
gonna do a
Yeah,
ritual?
I think that guidance, we don't have to be anywhere. Yes, there's great sacred sites, but it's just sitting. You can be in a cardboard box if you want. You can lay in your bed. If you can obviously get out in nature, it's so healing, and just allows you to expand into a bigger perspective and see the natural rhythms and become one with them. So of course that's ultimately, going to be, but this is such a beautiful time to really just come into it. Really comes into acceptance, really does. Like, I accept myself exactly right now in this moment. And then when we come into acceptance, that's where all the guidance can then come flowing in. But when we're pushing and shoving and comparing and scrolling through, I mean, the minute you see yourself scrolling through, you're just like, okay, I'm out of alignment. Put the phone down, put the phone down and walk away, and just, I'm going to go into nature. I'm going to find this quiet space. So we've recorded this meditation and these beautiful words from Laura. And so, if ever you feel like you would like to re-listen, it can be really helpful. Yeah. And the main ritual that I wanted to mention for today is it's a very powerful time to create some kind of an altar around Samhain, to invite your ancestors in. So as I mentioned, I'm not saying you have to leave all your doors and windows open. It's too cold over here to do that anyway, all day and all night, but you can do it symbolically. So you can create some kind of an altar. Now, when I say inviting your ancestors, yes, we can mean grandparents, great grandparents, but I'm talking about when you really work with your ancestors, like lines back for thousands of generations come in. You can just feel as they all come in. So it's like a conscious choosing to connect. So I'm going to invite everyone to create some kind of a Samhain altar. It can be as simple as you wish. If you have some photos to put on there, and if you don't have photos of ancestors, if you know of things that they liked, even a color they liked or a food they like. I have my sow-en altar set up, and I have a plate and I put food in it. So it's saying, I'm honoring you, I'm welcoming you. In Ireland, they make something called the barnbrack, and they bake it in order to, like, it's a baking of something for their ancestors. And it's really sweet because in the cake, they put money and they put a ring and all these different things. And as people eat it, a person that finds the ring is coming into love, that finds the coin in there is coming to abundance. So it's a beautiful tradition. So create an altar, bring the elements in, the fire, candle. And if there's special people that you want to honor, somebody that you've lost, like you can light candles specifically honoring them, and something symbolic of them, photos, write out their name, call them in. And then I'm just going to invite you to sit with it and connect with them. And if there is healing that has come down the lineage, ask that gets healed, whatever that is that you know that needs that. Just ask for that and work with them, because they want to heal it too. And then as that healing happens, it stops that pattern from going any further. So bring all the elements in. If you've got rainwater, water from the sea, a river, a well, crystals for the earth, feathers for the element of air. And so just bring all the elements in. And what really makes an altar sacred is sitting with it. You can make an altar, but if you don't sit with it, so it's a powerful portal to connect with a higher guidance, to ask for guidance, to ask for healing, to offer gratitude. So as simple or as elaborate as you wish, create an altar. Yeah.
I have on my altar, this is
What did
actually,
you got?
this is from Ireland also.
Oh,
Got a little beat up, but we found this in the forest on our last day there. I found it was actually on a tree, connected to a tree, and I've somehow managed to keep it.
amazing.
Yeah, so altars are so fun. I mean, they're on your own personal expression of divinity, of what brings you closer to what opens you up for guidance, what opens you up for being connected, more listening, so that you can be guided on what darkness do you need to embrace, do you want to choose, you're not ready to go there yet, what is calling to you that maybe you didn't expect. That's oftentimes like where the biggest healing can happen, is when we sit and listen and receive our guidance, and it's not something that you expected, or it's something that you really knew all along, and it just gets really loud in those times. So, these circles are going to be an opportunity for you to go through a process and have a ritual to walk away with, make it personal, make it your own, and also to give you a feeling for if you'd like to join us on our retreat that's happening in August. And let me just make sure I have this correct so I can tell you the right dates. I keep getting the dates wrong because we've changed them a couple of times, but our retreat, are we ready to go into that, Amanda, to share a little bit about
Yeah,
that?
do you want me to show our little video?
Yeah, let me just say the date. So it's going to be
Okay.
August 7th through 14th. And then Amanda, I just want to let you know that the video on my site is the updated date. So I don't know if you're going to show the one on your site, but mine has the updated dates. But
Oh yeah, it is. It's from mine. So please write down the dates from Laura. But
August 7th through 14th, and we'll send all of this out to everyone. So we're just going to show you our video that we made from our last one. And those of you who are on it are going to see yourselves.
Yay.
The magic of this land has been such a beautiful remembering. Not only the power of the group, I could really feel the intention behind the movement and the journey that we were taking on over the 7 days. The magic that's available here, the history that's so deep and prominent in this country, and the passion coming from the facilitators like Laura and Amanda that have just heard the call. This was just a really beautiful treat to be able to experience the nature and the elements and the sacred sites in the way that I did on this journey.
There's a level of caring and listening and intention and love and warmth that happens here in 1 week that has surpassed years of what I've experienced. The women here will touch your heart.
I know so many of us have a problem kind of being seen and being understood and really being truly authentically heard, and to be with not only two beautiful priestesses who get that, but to be held in a tribe of women where absolutely every single woman is able to see, hear, and acknowledge. I mean, that's sort of the number one gift of it all.
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Amanda.
And we want to invite you to join us for this year's Priestess Remembrance Retreat.
Come join us in the sacred lands that really does support you to remember and reconnect with the most beautiful parts of yourself.
And we would be honored to guide you on a journey home to remember the most vital and beautiful and sacred parts of yourself. And we do all of this within the sacred container of sisterhood. You'll be held in a group of women to support you and walk side by side to see you in your brilliance and beauty and to reflect it back to you.
Together we will drum and dance and bring joy with our connection to the earth and to each other.
We can't wait to see you in Ireland, sister.
We would love to see you come to Ireland.
We would love to have you join us.
So there you have it. I know for my video was a little spotty, you know, a little bit spotty, so you can find those videos. We're going to send out the link, actually, priestessremembranceretreat.com. Priestess Remembrance. I always get this. It's a mouthful. .com. Priestessremembranceretreat.com. Is that right? Did I do it right? Did I do it? Priestess?
Yeah, that looks good. I think, yeah, we'll send out the recording and the link with that. So
Yeah, when we send out the recording, all of you who are on the call will get the links to it. And we have single rooms, we have double rooms. We are going to go all over a region of Ireland, going to sacred sites, very much like you experienced today, going into a sacred site that represents a personal transformational journey for you. And what so many women have shared with us that they walk away from this with is a complete rebirth, a new sense of life, a new ability to tap into themselves. They shed layers of pain, trauma, history, and connect with a group of women that genuinely cares. Like, it's the beautiful thing of doing this deep work in sacred circles. We're called together for a reason. The group of women that shows up is the group you're meant to be with. They are your soul sisters in your tribe, maybe from eons and eons ago, that have come back together to do this work. And you probably did this work together thousands of years ago. And people remember that on these sacred sites. They remember maybe past life experiences, if you believe in that. They remember having been connected to their divine self, to their power, to their ability to walk through the darkness. And you are able to take that with you from the land, from the tribe, from the women, and bring it home into a new life experience. And so we would be so honored to have you join us. It's an incredible,
Rebecca says in the notes there.
it will be a life-changing, amazing retreat. I would love to join again. Yes, we hope so, Rebecca. Your spot is kind of permanently held, Rebecca. So Rebecca's been a part of a lot of the things that we've done. So we would just love to have you join us, and we're available if you have questions or anything. We'll be going in August, so we've got some time. And we'll be doing all the safe protocols for COVID and all of that, making sure that we keep everybody as safe as possible, staying up on the guidelines for what is most safe. And we'll be outside most of the time. Really everything we do is outside except for coming home for dinner. And so you'll really be able to take care of yourself, on the journey too.
And Laura and I are going to be sharing these gatherings for the year now, based on the Celtic wheel. So we'll be back together again for the winter solstice. So we'll announce a date soon.
Yes. And then Amanda, there's a question. Does Ireland require the COVID vaccine or no? Do you know if it requires it?
I really don't think we could even answer that question now, because it changes all the time. Like right now, it doesn't. It doesn't right now, but who knows? Like I think, by the new year we'd have, but right now you can come in no problem. Yeah.
We'll be updating everybody as we learn things, and all of that policies as far as what we did have to cancel a couple years, 2 years in a row. Did we cancel 2 years in a row?
Yeah. Well, I think it was supposed to be 2021, and now it's 22.
So
everyone's very patient. It's definitely teaching us many things, and patience is another one of them.
Yes.
Surrender, trust, patience.
But it feels like it's time. It feels like everybody's ready, and as long as we follow everything and keep each other safe, it'll be a beautiful experience. And we'll let you know, of course, as things evolve. So please feel free to reach out with questions. You'll get an email. You can respond to that email with questions. I'll put mine in here too. This is oh my gosh, can you guys hear my stomach growling? Did you just hear that?
No, just
that was the loudest I've ever growled. I guess
we'll be sending out the recording, and you'll get my email then as well. So thank you. I'd love to just close Sacred Space now, because when we open Sacred Space, it's very important that we close it. So oh, look at your sweet. Somebody's enjoying the Sacred Space.
Very much enjoying it.
They know exactly where to go. Animals are so in tune.
Every time I lead anything, this is where he ends up.
All right, lovies, I'm going to invite everyone to just gently close your eyes. And, just like we've been talking about, being comfortable in the darkness, going into the darkness to receive our guidance. Just when we just consciously close our eyes, we're choosing, I'm going inwards now. I'm going in, I'm going to listen. I'm going to quieten out the outside world. And every time we consciously choose to go inwards, to listen and for guidance, that inner voice gets louder, and those outer voices start to drown out. So it's such a gift. So gently closing our eyes, choosing collectively to come inwards. And I invite you now just to feel the space inside of you that's being created, and moving even more into this place of acceptance for this here and now, and this space of trust, and knowing that it's okay to be in the darkness, and knowing that it's okay to really sit with whatever you need to sit with. And sometimes we just have no choice, but we have to go through that cave to come out on the other side. We have to go through the tunnel, whatever it is, but knowing that you have that inner strength that inner resilience, that sovereignty. This is a time of sovereignty. Really claiming that. So we'd like to give deep thanks, Gurv Meal and Mila Mahagath, to the clan Fado, to our ancestors. Gurv Mila Mahagath, Margan, that is Maeve, Agus Eru. Giving deep thanks to the Margan, Maeve and Eru. Giving thanks to Ola Magat for providing the sacred space for us today. Giving deep thanks for all the healing and the comfort and the support that was given here today. Laura and I would like to give deep thanks to all of you for sharing your space and your time and your hearts with us, taking time out of your lives to be with us so we can all be in sacred circle together. And as we heal ourselves, as we do this inner work, we know that it just creates this ripple effect. And we do get to do our inner work. We can't change others, but we can do our inner work. So every time that you consciously choose to do it, you are being that change that you wish to see in the world. You are that. So we give deep thanks and reverence to all of you. Thank you all. We're closing our sacred space in the energy of love and peace and integration and consciousness and healing, just as we open this.
Thank you, beautiful sisters. Thank you so much. Sending so much love to all of you. If anybody feels called to put a word in of what you're walking away with, you're welcome to. We'll leave a couple minutes or a minute for that. And as always, Amanda, I love you. Thank you.
I love you. Thank you, dear sister.
Can't wait till we get to hug in person.
So looking forward to it too, love. Oh, thank you, Jackie,
everyone.
Stephanie. Oh, grace, trust, gratitude. Thank
Robin,
you
we'll see you in
Ireland. Yay, Robin. Thank you, Sean. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. We love you too. We love you all. And just such an honor to share sacred space. We'll see you next summer, Judith.
We'll see you in December for the winter solstice too. We'll do
Yes,
another.
absolutely. Oh, Pamela Maria. Oh, Gurmila Mahagat. Oh, beautiful. Thank you. Thank you,
Wonderful.
Heidi. Oh, so beautiful, Stephanie and Jackie. So beautiful to be with you all.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Kristen, thank you. Would love to go on the retreat. Ireland is my home from home. Oh, that's so beautiful. Oh, Demetrius, lovely to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Trust and surrender, Rebecca. Oh, thank you, Yvonne. Oh, Yvonne's on your side of the pond right now. I hope you're enjoying your time there, Yvonne, love. Oh, and we'll miss you on Saturday. Thank you for letting me know. Oh, thank you, Jenny.
Jenny, thank you, Liz.
Deep gratitude, many blessings. Oh, thank you, lovings. Enjoy your Samhain. The veils are thin. Take that time to connect. It's a powerful, powerful time. And you know what I love about these festivals is it gets people to step out of the norm. Like that's why they're already created. So people would really, step into community and honor these times. So love you, dear sister.
Love you.
Oh, Bernadette, hello, beautiful. Love you so much. No, and Joanna, is Joanna there with you? Oh, so much love to the pair of you. So gorgeous.
Is that who was on our retreat last time? Bernadette?
No, they did no. Oh, you're thinking of Denise and Catherine?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
Uh,
like Bernadette and Joanna.
yeah.
Exactly.
Because these are just soul sisters, not mother and daughter. So,
Yeah.
oh, Joanna's like, yes, I'm here. Oh, well, lovey, sending so much love.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Oh,
Have a wonderful rest of your
our
day.
loves.
Bye-bye.